So then your banker is supposed to keep track of it, that now you have crossed 6 months. So that's why intimation to bank is required. But as I told that in practice, hardly it happens, and generally even after delay of 6 months, if you get your, if you make payment, then nobody looks into that. So that is as such allowed. But trade credit is something which is like anything beyond 6 months and up to 3 years. That falls under trade credit. Above 3 years, it goes as ECB. So trade credit means a credit for import extended by the overseas supplier, supplier's credit or a buyer's credit. AD is authorized to approve trade credit and report to the RBI. So the moment 6 months is over, you are supposed to intimate to AD and AD is supposed to intimate to RBI. Trade credit amount eligible up to $20 million per import transaction. For capital goods, it is up to 5 years. For non-capital goods, it is 1 year. Credit period to be reckoned from the date of the shipment. All-in cost ceiling 350 basis point over 6 month LIBOR. So if in the import document condition is there that if you are paying after 6 months, then interest will be charged. Then that interest cannot be more than 350 basis point plus 6 months LIBOR. AD can issue LC, guarantee, letter of undertaking or comfort up to 3 years. So up to 3 years it can go because it is not ECB, it is trade credit. But it goes beyond 3 years, then ECB regulation will be applicable.
So beyond 3 years, can I convert that to?
So the moment you process 3 years, then you have to go to the RBI for approval. So then whatever those conditions are there, if you are fitting into that, they will allow. Yeah. In fact, immediately after completion of 6 months, you have to intimate to AD. So in the reality, if it is intimated to AD, AD will be after you to see that you get your, you repay as early as possible. See, this is generally happening. We have seen whenever there is an import from the group company. So people are doing financing to the Indian company through this route without being caught anywhere. They don't want to do ECB, etc.
Yeah. Is there a genuine dispute with the supplier?
You represent the RBI that the quality of goods was not proper or it's not as per what has been agreed. See, again here RBI don't want. No, you pay only. It's a foreign currency. The RBI will be more than happy you don't pay. But their object is there that in the guise of this, you are not availing foreign currency law. That's why restriction is there. If you are successful that your vendor forgot money, RBI will be more than happy. You write off here and income tax will take 30% profit.
Sir, in the case of trade credit, only for goods it is allowed or for services trade credit?
Both.
Sir, services, there is no reporting norm only. See, today there is, as you have reporting norm for goods.
Either.
There is no reporting norm.
No reporting. Either.
Except software. Software is different.
Then you have to file that form separately, soft tax form. See, that's why these things are never reported. And even auditor also doesn't observe it. So in practice, so many people are using this route. But nowadays, at least I have seen that Big 4 auditors specifically, they go into your creditor list and wherever foreign creditors are more than 6 months, then they are insisting that you report to the authorized dealer, otherwise we will put note.
So, but they accept that if you report it to authorized, they are okay with it.
See, so far as I told, that here RBI don't want to push you that you make remittance. Their objective is only that you are not monitoring plus not misusing this route for financing. As I told you, that in many companies we have seen that whenever there is an import from your group concern, you don't pay only. You use this money as indirectly as a trade credit or a ECB. So instead of giving a finance straight away, they have given you a goods and then don't take money. So then this is what they want to monitor. FCEB, Foreign Currency Exchangeable Bond. Now this is a unique bond introduced by RBI. I think it is there since 3-4 years. But up till now I have not heard of any company has issued this. In this what happens? that one particular company is there, they want to borrow in a foreign currency. That company is holding shares of any of its group company. So under FCEB, this is a little difference than FCCB. FCCB is straight away you are issuing a foreign currency convertible bond, which later on over a period of time, as per the terms, will get converted into equity share. FCEB is a exchangeable bond. So the difference is here that you are getting a money on the basis of your holding in your group concern. So the primary condition is there that you should be holding shares of some of your group company. That group company has to be a listed company, and as per the terms of the bond, at the time of conversion, the bondholder will get share of that other group company, not your company. So that's what the little difference is there. In case of FCCB, you are required to give your share only. So here it is nothing but some company is having some investment in a group company, which is presently they don't want to liquidate, but they are in need of money. They are expecting that our group company is going to perform well. So then why do I liquidate at this stage? I don't want to liquidate, but I need money. So my money is stuck up in the investment. So then this is the temporary, you can say that the financing is there. But gradually, when these bonds are converted, your investment in your group company will go to the bondholder. So these bonds are expressed in foreign currency. The principal interest is in foreign currency, issued by an issuing company and subscribed to by a person resident outside India in foreign currency and exchangeable into equity share of another company, that is offered company. Issuing company shall be part of the promoter group of the offered company. Unless both are of the same group, you cannot commit sales of some other company to foreign bondholder. And hold the equity share being offered at the time of issuance of SCEB. Offered company shall be listed company. Offered company has to be listed company. Issuing company may not be listed company, but offered company has to be issuing listed company, and which should be eligible to receive FDI, because ultimately what will happen when the exchangeable bond will take place, the issuing company will have a foreign shareholder. So unless that issuing company is eligible to receive FDI, you cannot use that. Or avail FCCB or ECB. Eligible subscriber, who are eligible subscriber, entities complying with FDI policy and adhering to sectoral cap, entity prohibited by SEBI are not eligible to subscribe to FCB. An Indian company which is not eligible to raise fund from Indian capital market, including the company which has been restrained from accessing the security market by SEBI, will not be eligible to issue FCB. FCB requires prior approval of RBI. The end use, whatever money comes, you can use for overseas direct investment in wholly owned subsidiary or joint venture. By promoter company, so you can further give it to your other group company. They can utilize it for a end use as prescribed by the ECB. Not allowed to invest in a capital market or a real estate. Pricing of ECB, FCB, there is a prescribed pricing is there, which is normal for any FDI. All in cost as per ECB policy, average maturity minimum 5 years, parking FCB proceed abroad as per ECB policy. FCCB, as we discussed, that you are offering your own company's share. Now we go to the key compliances. What are the key compliances under ECB? As I said that even for automatic route also, you have to obtain LRN, loan registration number, from RBI. So as such, although it is an automatic route, but indirectly it goes to the RBI for review at least. Although RBI clearly writes in the letter where LRN is allotted that it should not be considered as a approval given by us, and all prescribed condition of automatic approval route has been adhered by you, and to ensure that that adher is your responsibility. So when you enter into agreement before receiving the money, now here also people do a mistake. They feel that, oh, it's automatic route, so you bring money, then you go to the RBI. It's not like that. The moment you enter into agreement, first you go to the RBI, take LRN, and then only money can come. The borrower can draw down for loan only after obtaining LRN. Monthly return, every month you have to submit return to the RBI within 7 working days, again through authorized dealer. Any change in your ECB, that also needs to be informed to the RBI. They have prescribed that what all changes will require prior approval of RBI are changes, modification in the drawdown, not RBI, actually AD Bank. These all powers are given to AD Bank. Change in the currency of borrowing, change of AD Bank. Here you are even allowed to change your AD Bank also. Presently you are dealing with X bank and tomorrow your whole group moves to some other bank. Then you are allowed to do. But in that case, your existing AD Bank has to give no objection and the new AD Bank should consider you as their customer. Change in recognizer, lender, cancellation of LRN, change in any these so many things are there. So for anything is there, you have to go to the authorized dealer. Conversion of ECB into equity, we discussed. So for that also some compliance is there. As and when the conversion happens, within 7 days you have to file form ECB2, which is normal course for ECB you have to file. Simultaneously you have to file form FCTPR also, which is a requirement for foreign direct investment. Lending in foreign currency. I think we have a time little less, I will try to finish quickly. Lending in foreign currency, but actually, although in my presentation this is a 25% over, because borrowing and lending rupee and foreign currency, the total 4 nature of transaction we are talking about. But this was the major transaction where FEMA plays role. So race 3 are not that I can say that regulated or not that much utilized. So here considerably time will be less. Lending by an authorized dealer. Now our authorized dealer are also allowed to lend in foreign currency, which is very common. So any AD or its overseas branch can lend in foreign currency in the following circumstances. Extending credit facility to overseas wholly owned subsidiary or JV of Indian entity, provided at least 51% of the equity is held by Indian entity. So one Indian company is there, it is a subsidiary outside India. It requires some borrowing, nobody in that country is giving them, or due to whatever reason. It comes to the Indian bank that you give me a loan, then they are allowed. Subject to that, the Indian company's shareholding should be 51% in that company. Overseas branch of AD can grant loan against security of fund held in NRE FCNR deposit account. And AD can grant loan against security of fund held in FCNR account to the account holder, subject to the guideline issued by the RBI. So we have many known residents who have FCNR account, and they don't want to withdraw from that. So then they can go to the bank, and since FCNR is a foreign currency account, so against that they are allowed to borrow from bank in foreign currency. Overseas branch of AD can grant loan in normal course of banking business outside India. An AD can grant loan to its constitution in India for meeting their forex requirement against security fund held in IFC account subject to guidelines issued by RBI. Constitution in India means within the bank. Within bank also they are allowed to give a foreign currency. And AD bank can grant loan to another AD subject to guideline issued by the RBI. So there is a separate guideline governing this. Lending by person other than AD. Now we are talking that other than AD who can give loan in foreign currency. So first of all, who can have a money in foreign currency? You and me cannot have, a resident cannot have a money in foreign currency. So it's also a question that we can lend. So an Indian entity can lend to its wholly owned subsidiary JV abroad constituted in accordance with overseas investment regulation. Now you have a subsidiary outside India. You have a fund available with you. So you can give them from your own fund in a foreign currency. So Indian company are allowed to give. The condition is there that you should be holding equity share capital in that company. A person resident in India can lend to its overseas importer customer. This is normal advance. When you are receiving something, it's not that every time you receive import goods and then make payment. There are some certain vendor or certain situation wherein you have to give money in advance. Then only they will ship the food. So up to $100,000 it is allowed. You can give. If it is more than $100,000, then in that case guarantee of bank of an international reputation outside India is required. Indian company can grant loan to the employee of their branch. Indian company has a branch outside India. Those employee want loan. So staff loan is a very common. So just because they are a employee of a foreign branch, they should not be deprived of that. So it is allowed, subject to condition that it should be for a personal purpose and should be in accordance with the lender's staff welfare scheme, loans, rules and other terms and conditions applicable to resident India. So if that employee would have been resident, what he would have been eligible, equivalent amount with the equivalent rules and regulations, it may be given to even if he is a non-resident. Foreign currency loan can be extended by Exim, IDBI, IFCI, ICA, CDB, any other institution. These people also can give. Now we go to the borrowing in rupees.
Resident Indian give a borrowing in LRS?
Yeah, up to $75,000. That will come. Because resident individual giving to a non-resident. So it is a borrowing in foreign currency. It will come. Pardon? Yeah. Means you are talking of Indian banks. Indian banks do give a foreign currency loan. Buyer's credit, supplier's credit, pre-shipment credit, post-shipment credit. These are all in foreign currency.
Earlier slide that 38 extending credit facility to the overseas JV or subsidiary. The security can be other than the FD and what you have mentioned. It can be any other security also.
No security required. When you are giving to your company, who will give security?
No. The loan facility given by my Indian bank to my overseas branch and subsidiary.
Yeah.
Now my branch and subsidiary doesn't have any security there.
So parent company can give.
Parent gives the collateral security. I mean the immovable property or other things. So in case of any problem, then liquidation of this Indian property will be done and the remittance will be done to the overseas branch. In case of some default, my security which has been provided here, that will be liquidated by the bank.
Yeah.
And then the remittance can go outside India for the repayment.
Yeah.
That can be done.
Yeah.
So can a non-resident give a loan to a firm or a proprietary company?
Pardon?
A non-resident can give a foreign currency loan to a resident firm or a...
That is covered in subsequent slide. Now we go to the borrowing in rupees. So borrowing in rupees means you are receiving from a non-resident. Borrowing by person other than Indian company, borrowing by Indian company, and what are the end-use restrictions. So a person resident in India, so people like us, can borrow in rupee on a non-repatriation basis from NRI or PI resident outside India subject to the following conditions. So what are the conditions are there? Loan has to come in a convertible foreign exchange, remittance from outside India. It should be or one is a remittance has to come or out of NRE, NRO, FCNR, NRNR, NRSR account of a lender maintained with AD Bank in India. So, but now these NR, NR and NRSR accounts are no longer there. So we are talking only three accounts, NRE, NRO and FCNR account. So if any NRI has such account in India, then from that account, he can give loan to his any relative or anybody in India subject to these all conditions. So one condition is that the period of loan shall not exceed 3 years. The rate of interest shall not exceed 2% over the SBI PLR. Presently SBI PLR is 14.75%. So then loan will be costing you 16.75. You cannot pay more than that, but you can pay less than that. Borrowed amount shall not be allowed to be repatriated outside India. Naturally, you borrow from somebody and then you repatriate outside India. It's not allowed. And here, principal amount cannot go outside India, but interest can go outside India because it is a current account converted. So under current account, interest can go outside India. Now we talk about my Indian company. Borrowing in rupee. Indian company can borrow in rupee from a non-resident. So it's the other way around. Not ECB etc. But from NRI, PIO, you are borrowing in rupee. How it is possible? So it can be done subject to that Indian company issues non-convertible debenture, NCDs. You have to bring the issue of the NCDs. It has to be a public offer. Now this is something which we have observed that many people have made mistakes in this. Somebody is some relative outside India, they have NRE, NRO account in India, funds are lying there, their group company wants some money, from that account they give loan to that company, without understanding that it is coming from a non-resident. Even many times it happens that bank is not aware only that you are a non-resident. As my previous speaker Kishan Bhai was mentioning, that when you become a non-resident and if you don't inform to your banker, how he will come to know? So he will continue your bank account like a normal resident saving account. But you are actually NRI. And then from that bank account, if your group company or somebody needs money, you will give loan. This is not allowed. The company which is receiving the loan is making a default, and there can be consequences on that company. So it has to be a proper public offer for issue of NCD. The rate of interest shall not exceed PLR of SBI plus 3%. Redemption period should not be less than 3 years. Borrowing companies should report detail of receipt of remittance for investment in NCD and issue NCD within 30 days to the RBI. Reporting to RBI is required. Investment should be received either by of remittance from outside India or from NRE or FCNR account. Just see here only NRE and FCNR accounts are there. NRO account is not there. So from rupee account you cannot pay. In case of borrowing by of issue of NCD on repatriation basis, it is allowed. If it is on a repatriation basis, the percentage of NCD issued to NRI to the total paid up equity series of NCD issued should not exceed the prescribed FDI regulation applicable to that particular company. Because this is again you are receiving money from the non-resident. So it should be within that prescribed limit. Restriction on use of borrowed fund. Now NCD has been issued to non-resident. Now can you use that money for anything? Whatever you want to do. So no, you cannot do it. Can be used only for the purpose of business. So for utilization in business other than borrower's own business. So whatever borrower's own business is there, he can utilize that money for that. But again, borrower's own business should not be of business of cheat fund or a needy company, agriculture or plantation activity or real estate business or construction of farmhouse, trading in TDR. Now real estate does not include development of township, construction or residential commercial premises, road or bridges. For this purpose, the real estate excludes this. So if you are in the business of this, then you can utilize that money for this business.
So then what will it come? Real estate does not include. What will real estate
No, your normal business.
Real estate business will not include development of township and construction.
No, these all are covered. So apart from that, let's say buying or the main they want to stop is that you do not utilize the foreign currency money just to rig by buying and selling.
The trading is not allowed.
Something like that, yeah. But if you are a real
Developing.
developer, yeah. So you are right. You can take that.
Can this be used for the working capital?
Yeah, hello. For day-to-day routine business, it's allowed. Only if you are in the business of any of these items, then it is not allowed even for your business purpose also.
Even from NRI directors, no loans can be taken.
That is what the mistake people are doing. I told you, na? That somebody has gone abroad, he's a director of company, money is lying in his bank account, okay, transfer.
If NCD even private company can come up with NCD.
It has to be public offer. So hardly this route is utilizable. It's not possible. For any investment by your capital or otherwise in any company or partnership from a proprietary concern or any other entity. So you cannot again utilize this money for making further investment in some other entity. And for relating, it's not allowed. However, the RBI may permit resident stock company to use the borrowed fund for on-lending or re-lending to the infrastructure sector. So again, special treatment is given to infrastructure sector. Keeping in fixed deposit with Indian bank pending utilization of permissible use. So this is allowed that you got the money, NCD you have issued, the money has come, temporarily you want to park in the fixed deposit, RBI will allow. The above restrictions apply to company as well as to a person other than company. Lending in rupee now. Somebody is lending in rupee to non-resident. So then again first comes authorized dealer. Authorized dealer can always lend to non-resident. Rupee lending by AD to NRI is permissible. So this situation we are talking about that there is somebody NRI who want money in India. So as per FEMA, he is non-resident. He is going to the bank asking for a loan, whether allowed or not. Bank can give or not. Bank can give against the security of state or other security held in the name of borrower, against the security of immovable property for any other purpose as may be as the policy of the authorized dealer. There are certain conditions are there which are utilize of borrowed funds should be for meeting borrower's personal requirement, his own business purpose. He may be doing some business in India, then it is allowed. The loan should not be utilized for the prohibited activity. Prohibited activity we discussed in the previous slide. RBI's directive on such advance should be complied with. The loan amount should not be credited to NRE, FCNR or NRNR account. That loan has to go to the NRO account because it's a rupee loan. So in any case, even if you try to deposit, the bank will not accept. But it cannot go to this foreign currency account. The loan amount should not be remitted outside India. It cannot go outside India. Repayment of loan has to by way of inward remittance from abroad or debit to your NRE, FCNR account. Now lending by AD to NRI employee for ESOP. So again we are talking of the NRI, but they are employee of some company. Company is giving them ESOP. They don't have fund in India. What do? They can go to the bank. Bank can give them. The conditions are there. The ESOP scheme should be as per the policy approved by the AD's board. The loan amount should not exceed lower of the following: 90% of the purchase price of the sale or INR rupees 520 lakh. The amount should be paid directly to the company and not to the employee. Repayment of loans should be made by way of inward remittance or debit to borrower's NRE, FCNR account. The loan should be included in reckoning capital market exposure because indirectly this money is going into the shares of that company. So that's why banks have norms how much they can invest in the capital market. So then this amount also will be added into that. Housing loan to NRI, like how ESOP. Similarly, NRI want to buy house in India. So then if he don't have a fund, what does he do? He can go to the bank and ask for a loan. The conditions are there. The quantum of loan, margin money and period of repayment should be at par with housing loan provided to resident Indian. So whatever bank is providing loan to the resident Indian, whatever terms and conditions are imposed, that terms and conditions will be imposed on non-resident also. The loan amount should not be credited to FCNR or NRE account because it cannot go outside India. The loan should be fully secured by equitable mortgage of property or other asset wherever required. Repayment of loan again has to happen out of the inward remittance or a debit to the NREs or FCNR account. Here only one leeway is there that if out of that property some rental income is earned, then from that rental income he is allowed to make the repayment of loan.
So the loan account cannot be credited to NRE account, then which account? Debiting from this account.
See, when debit to this account, that means you are converting your foreign currency into Indian rupee. So then that's good for India. It's a welcome decision. The rate of interest should conform to the directives of RBI and NLP as the case may be. Repayment of loan by utility. Now this is a reverse situation is there. Some non-resident has taken the loan. He doesn't have money to pay. He is your relative. You have money to pay. You want to repay. You are repaying on behalf of non-resident. So then whether you are allowed to repay or not, so it's allowed, subject to condition that it should be credited to borrower's loan account, so directly you credit to that account, or through the bank account of such relative. So you deposit in his bank account and then it is given to the lender. Here the word relative means relative as defined under Companies Act. Now to NRI, PIF employee of Indian body corporate. Now Indian company may have some employees outside India and they want loan in India. Earlier we have discussed they want loan outside India. So in a foreign currency, this is we are talking of in rupee. So to NRI employee loan in rupee in India by his company or any body corporate. So what are the conditions? The loan should be only for personal purpose including purchase of housing property. Housing property, the rules are more or less same what is applicable to bank. The loan should be in accordance with the lender staff welfare scheme, staff housing scheme, whatever scheme is there of the company, it should be as per that scheme. The loan should